What's up, family? To touch on the video I made yesterday, I talked about diagnoses and whatnot. So one of the things I said was I have fibromyalgia, or I have symptoms of fibromyalgia. I've been diagnosed with it. But how about I just tell you, I give you an understanding of what it feels like in my body. So extreme fatigue all the time. The only times I really get a little bit of a break are the odd day where I wake up and feeling fresh. Coffee is just have one cup probably 6 days a week. The 1 day a week that I don't, I usually suffer and a lot of pain, a lot of fatigue, because quite honestly, coffee gives me energy and it numbs me a little bit. It gives me a better outlook in life. So when I don't have coffee, I have a harder time getting going mentally, or a lot of the fear-based mentality seems to trickle in, not even trickle, it seems to cascade like an avalanche sometimes. And so that's one aspect is the fatigue that I feel. The second aspect is all my whole body aches all the time. Some parts more than others. I did hurt myself in my left. Ooh, beautiful cardinal. I hurt myself. I've torn ligaments in both my ankles. My right one seems to be doing okay. My left one, which was the second one I did a year after I did the first one, seems to not have healed quite well, and I struggle with a lot of pain, especially in the mornings, getting going. Very hard to even bend my knees because it's kind of it limits me. It's kind of the back of my knee, but also down through the calf into the ankle. So trying to mobilize it is obviously a good thing and something I try to do. Severe hip pain, all around, severe back pain, severe cervical spine pains, extreme tenderness through specific points of my body to the touch, but also I can just feel it in general. Like it's almost like you don't even have to touch it. I can just like feel it. I suppose like a muscle ache or a trigger point is what it feels like. When I breathe in, like I just breathed in right there, parts of my body start cracking. So I don't know exactly what that is, but basically I can crack my spine just by breathing in. I've got MRIs done and whatnot, and they don't see any issues with my joints or any inflammation, so to speak. So yeah, overall pain. Another thing is I have trouble sleeping because of the pain. The pain wakes me up all throughout the night, because basically any position that I stay in for too long of a period of time, it seizes up and creates pain in my body. So no matter what, I'm pretty much waking up to move around. Not in the case like, you shift from one side to the other. The pain wakes me up. The stiffness wakes me up and causes obviously not being able to recover properly. It's one of the reasons why we sleep. And so that becomes very hard, and that kind of trickles into other issues that you can have, with the fatigue and everything. It's kind of like a vicious cycle, right? So yeah, that's just like, that's probably the biggest ones that I found to be quite what's a word, like really pulls me down. Sorry, beautiful birds. I just can't help it. Seems to pull me down in life, and it's really hard, right? Because if for anyone that knows me, that saw me before, I mean, dude, I was super fitness guy, blah 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 blah, and you know what? Ever since stopping really exercise and barely being able to do stuff, I mean, it literally is like, wow, if you exercise right now and sometimes you're like, why do I, you don't even want to do it. Trust me, please, like, I'm sure you've found the understanding to like keep going, because to stop, there's just so many ailments that will start coming in. And I just know that movement is an amazing medicine. So yeah, those are some of the symptoms that I have with fibromyalgia, and I try to do some exercise. I'm just out here and I'm moving to music. I just, whatever inspiration I can find to move my body, I do so because I know it's good for me. It's medicine, and of course I try to do it every day in some way, shape, or form. But some days are better, worse than others. Parts of the day, I have very little energy to get me going through the day. I never know if I do exercise, if I exercise too much, the repercussions of that. So it's every day is a different day. Every moment's a different moment. Literally, every hour is a different hour. It comes and it goes in waves, and it's hard because you would just look at me and you would think, okay, like, he's good. And then in the next hour, I'm a zombie. I can barely, like, no ability to even think. Body starts breaking down. I just want to lie down and get horizontal so that gravity, like, even sitting is too much. Again, lying down is not, it's the best preferred position for my body in really big attacks. So yeah, ultimately, man, like what I guess I'm getting at here with this is just if you've been, if you have something like this or whatever, man, anything, like, all I can try to do, I suppose, is just proactive things and just know that know the medicines that I have. I don't take I don't take pain medications. I don't take prescriptions. I would say coffee and well, of course, simple thing, water, food. All these things are my medicines, and in some way, they're all medicines. I just joined I joined on it's called My Fibro Team, I think it's called, and it's an online website. Anyways, I joined that, and it asked me, put in your medications and stuff like that, and what you use to treat. And I was like, water, exercise, wine, food, nature, like things like that. I actually see as medicine. Work, I put even work, because when I wasn't working for a long period of time, I was getting more and more and more and more depressed, because obviously what's inside of me is saying, hey dude, come on, like, let's be in flow with life, because I wasn't at the time. I was sitting in extreme victimhood, because I was in a lot of pain. And I knew it, and I was aware of it, and even to this day I'm still in victimhood in some sense, but not like totally, like nothing is all or nothing. And I'm trying to do my best, and I want to say I'm trying. I suppose I'm trying to create space enough to listen and to act upon those things that perhaps have hurt me, in the sense that, like, I've been in fear because of what has happened in the past, and so I live in a fear-based world, scared to do things. But ultimately, I know that I'm going to have to move through that at some point, and when that will be, I don't know. I can sit here and I know I can speak a good speech or something like this, but ultimately, the doorway is there for me, I believe, and I just need to walk through it, sort of speak. And when that happens, or I want to say when the situation is present, I will. But even that sounds funny, right? Because there's no better time than now or whatever. But for me, as far as I can see, is it's a little bit more complicated than that, and not too much more complicated, but is a little bit more, especially for me. So anyways, just wanted to create this video to express, myself for what I'm feeling, but also it's just in congruency with what other people are feeling, and that, you just really never know what someone's feeling, regardless of who they've been in the past, and who you think they are. Ultimately, we're ever-changing beings, and we have good times, we have bad times, we have hard times, we get challenges. We're all learning to be better stewards of ourselves, and to listen to our inner voice, so to speak, and our true nature, as have seen to be fitting for me, and I try to do my best to listen. Anyways, love you guys, and thanks for watching. If you watch this almost 10-minute video, because I'm good at that. Peace.